And the other thing is the content that's available on YouTube, it tends to be mostly commercial free. So for example, like if I were to watch something on regular TV, you've got all the breaks that you have no control over. On YouTube, you can kind of like get past that. So that's the reason. I mean, there's just, I don't know. There's just, I don't know of anything that's on television that I need to watch after working a whole day in media.
Right, and that's why I would not want to become a gynecologist. Perfect example. And yes, I do YouTube Premium, I think, which gets rid of the commercials.
So I'll think about that gynecologist comment right there. It's just not going to gloss over that easily.
Well, I mean, you don't watch TV, so I do remember an episode of Friends where Rachel is eyeing up a gynecologist male doctor, and he he alludes to the fact he looks at him all day and might not want to look at him when he gets home. I think was kind of the storyline. That was my reference.
Wow, there's another thought to ponder. It's amazing what you hear here on 3873.
Yeah, isn't it? I can at least say if I can go there, and this is Whiskey 2 Echo November Yankee. I think I can actually go there. The bottom line is, like when you have like good times in the evening, maybe even in the late evening. The best time is when you wake up in the morning and you feel like a glazed donut.
Wow, and I thought feeling like a York peppermint patty was pretty dramatic.
I like the glazed donut better.
I gotta take a shower. I got too much glazing on me.
I'm gonna keep my eye on this.
Because I remember I blew it. The last time I had not this amp. Not this amp, but the other amp, the other AL811 with the GI7B in it. I remember the last time I had it on. I think it was getting a little late in the evening, and I think I had it running like 150 watts carrier. And the next morning I went to turn it on, and it went through the fuse. Anyway, good times. And I'm happy to have this other amp on the air, because this thing is so freaking quiet, man. There's a muffin fan in the back, there's a muffin fan on the side. I am going to increase the size of the muffin fan on the side, so it sucks in a little bit more room ambiance across the two. And I'm planning on doing the same thing with the other one, but the other one, some Alpha Hotel up in, I think, Catskill, New York or something like that. The one that I bought that from, he put in like this wacky 3.5-inch box fan on the top that fan forced across the top of the tube, which was a smart idea, but increased the height of the amplifier by like 2 inches. And I need to kind of recreate what this other guy did with the axial blowing fan, and redo the top of the amp, or find a new AL811 junker that I can buy the cabinet for. That would even be better. and this is W2ENY.
Wow, in one transmission we heard about muff, sucking, blowing, and tubes.
Right.
Oh, wow! It's time for the all over the freaking 75-meter Collins Collector's Net.
Jesus, I just heard that. I think I might need to make a comment there.
Hey,
holy cow, someone's
my
over on
name's Roger.
3880.
I'm doing the Collins Collector's
15
Net. Yeah, you can tune
wide.
into my net
Blowing
anywhere
all
on
over us.
75 meters, because I know we're going to be all over the band. Asshole. You know what? And I wouldn't be so scathing about this guy, but he has been talked to for years. It's the same thing. Hey, Roger, back it down, back it down, back it down. And he never does. So I lost my patience with that guy a decade ago.
Oh, copy that. I hadn't gone over there to listen, but kind of odd when we're already here to do that.
Now, the guy is, this is what happens when your brain rots and you just don't care anymore. That's him. That's Roger.
Yeah, copy that. I mean, you're all over him from Connecticut to Maryland. So, but the other stations are being, talked over.
W4 PBS.
You know, Carl, I know someone named Roger who needs to be in the nervous hospital. Just saying.
Well, I don't know about all that, but Carl's sitting here with me, so he's not too concerned about the talking overs, but anyway, just saying hi to you fellas, W4 PBS.
Hello, W4 PBS. This is Whiskey 3 Oscar Hotel, Dave down in Maryland. Yeah, it's a little hard for me when I'm all the way down here in Maryland. You guys are all up there northeast.
Well, I'm in Central Virginia, so you're up there for me.
Okay, we're pretty close then. We're closer than we are to Clark.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't been on in a few weeks. Been keeping it quiet since the AM rally when myself and another fellow went up to 3895 and started to communicate on AM during the AM rally. And that was the most fun I've had in years. But anyway, that was my last big hurrah. The most fun I've had in a long time. That's W4 PBS.
Oh, that's something you don't see too often. And then 3873 is a pause in the carriers.
Well, there it is. I gave it to them. Oh, well.
Well, it's going to be the same thing year after year after year. Roger never learns.
Yeah, I know. They're like, whoa, what is your call sign? I'm like, yeah, here's my call sign, and I gave it to them. And I said, you guys, you just fire the goddamn thing up down here in between two QSOs, and you expect some kind of forgiveness because you always have your Collins net on that frequency. And I'm like, well, why don't you be a little adventurous? Unless your VFO is frozen, then why don't you find a frequency that's not busy? What a bunch of freaking twats, man.
Well, yeah, saying, okay, we're going to shoot for 3880, but if it's crowded, then let's go to 3860. There needs to be a backup frequency, not a, well, we're going to be on this frequency come hell or high water. That crap doesn't work.
Yeah, that's exactly correct, man. I went at this like 20 years in a row, maybe 25 years in a row on 3910. When the Indiana traffic net would fire up on 3910, and they would just go on and on and on with this roll call, and they would read this list of call signs. Talk about transmitting. Talk about broadcasting. Talk about, hey, Raleigh Hollingsworth, where is their letter? And their excuse was, well, we're in the ARRL directory, and we always have our net on this frequency. And a bunch of crap, man. Talk about a bunch of miscreants that just want to get on frequency and feel good about themselves. And yeah, whether it's the Indiana traffic net, whether it's the Collins net, whether it's some freaking contest, or it's like, dude, get a life. The frequency is busy. Move on.
Hey, about W2GOR.
What's happening, Gordon?
Yeah, good job, man. I was there. Good job. That's all I can say. And they're saying now, let's stay here. We're staying here. I mean, there's a lot of spaces. You could move your net on any empty frequency, for an hour or whatever. It's not that difficult to do.
Yeah, I'm looking here. There's nothing on 3892. They were, but to use a polite word, they were complaining that Timtron was trashing them. And anyway, I'm just saying. I'm looking right here, like 3892. There's like nothing there, and you know what? Why do they have to like jump on the horse in the middle?
Yeah, and his audio is as loud as hell, and it's saturating everything in his tube radio. It's splattering up and down here. And here I am, keeping my bandwidth down to 5 kilohertz, or making it sound yellowy like this. Half the time. To try to be courteous,
Yep, I do drop my bandwidth down to 5-6 kilohertz.
The aisle is taken, the window is taken, so let's just, show up with 600 pounds of audio.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm all the way down in Maryland.
And take the whole damn row over. That's Roger's MO, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been bad.
N1BCG.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we can all play that game. So, sorry, fellas, to upset your day. I think I'm going to turn on my noise blanker on transmit. See how that happens.
God, do you hear that splatter down here, Bob?
Yeah, I do, and that's why I don't run a noise blanker, because of junk like that. If they have any kind of signal, so I figured I would throw my noise blanker on here and see what compressing my signal does to others on the band.
Well, under my skin.
Yeah, but it's a little different, Clark.
W3RO.
Yeah. And they're trying new equipment and new transmitters, people like myself, and they want to know, and they're working hard at it. Fine, yeah. But this is screaming into your microphone when the audio's filthy. You should see how this thing looks on my fan adapter. And he's only 20 dB over 9. You are too, but it's so... it could be a Russian jammer, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Hey, what station is that? You've got a fine signal down here in Maryland.
It's plenty wide.
Yeah, well, I'm going up to tell him. I'll be right back.
I don't know. He's been told for over a decade now.
Yeah, it's,
So,
I was up there. I think I was kind of nice with what I said to him, and right away.
Somebody doesn't want a few dozen old timers to have much fun.
yeah, the station is set up.
Something. I'll just say hello to everybody on frequency W4 PBS.
We have
Collins in the back of the amp there last time I keyed it up, and I guess it was a bug, so everything seems all right this time. So, 7-3 fellas.
Let's try that.
We'll,
When you're parking,
just wanted to say hello. We'll back her down and turn her off. Everything's looking good now, so that's good. But anyway, W4 PBS.
Just crash into their car and push them into the sidewalk and walk away. Is that how it goes with the Collins net, fellas?
What is up with the band?
Perry,
It's not the
how are you? I don't know if you can hear me over top of everyone else over on 3880.
Oh, I hear you just fine. What's up, Dave? Oh, PBS, good evening to you. Bob, Clark. Yeah, I guess it's Collins Collectors Net night. Every time he gets on, it's the same old story, and he decides to... He knows we're here. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't care. And then when you go up there, he's like, guess he doesn't want these. They don't want a couple of old timers to have a good time. And like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, it's all about coddling. Yeah, well, I don't coddle very good.
Perry, you're over there in Philadelphia, aren't you?
I am just outside of the city here. I'm about 4 air miles from the city limits.
Okay, yeah, you have a strong signal down here.
Yeah, you got a strong signal too. And Jason, you had a strong signal from Virginia. And Bob, the band's like up and down. Past 2 nights, there's been a lot of QSB on people's signals, man. It's been quite crazy.
Yeah, man. It's just good times. I didn't make it on this morning. I was busy building stuff at the bench. But I have a new bench coming for the other room. So I need to buy. It's 20 wide by 30 deep. And man, I gotta go to Home Depot tomorrow, and I gotta buy a rug for Lowe's. I gotta buy a rug, man, so I can start working on some of the equipment that's in the other room, like the 6 75A4s that I have in here, like the 3 R3 that I have there, like the 4 Rangers, like the 3 Valiants, like blah blah blah. Dude, I finally have space in my basement where I can actually throw a table that size in there and jig.
Friends, raise it up a little so your friends can hear you, but I thought you would want to know.
Can you guys, with your radio equipment, I know that older, like sophisticated equipment, can you guys expand the width on one side of the carrier versus the other, like you can do on these flex machines?
That's that'd be a question for you, Bob, because you're the Collins filter guy.
Hey, GOR, I spoke to him and he brought his audio down to about half. He's helping a little bit.
The Collins filter guy. I'm having a problem with the Collins filter T rash that's going on just above. Can you maybe I can turn on an SDR remote and maybe I can I didn't have a look at the S meter.
Why is Bob so weak?
K3FEF and see if I can copy him a little bit better.
I think his linear's kicking in and out.
I thought so. Yeah, you got... What's up, Gordon? You got something going on over there, Bob. Like, signals going up and down your audio. Like, you got something weird going on. I didn't have a good enough copy to hear exactly what it was, but maybe Gordon did.
Yeah, I think it's the linear. I mean, it sounds like the linear is going in and out, Bob. I went up on 3880, by the way, and spoke to that guy, and I said, look, we're not going to solve this this old issue, but your audio is splattering 25 kc, and please bring it down. We would appreciate it. So he did bring it way down. It's a little bit better here. I can hear you all now at least, so at least we can have a better time. W2GOR.
Yes, thank you. It's much better.
Yeah, that's what's nice about these Anons, man. You can... I'm just listening to the lower half of the lower sideband on synchronous, and it just pretty much gets rid of them. But to answer your question, Dave, about older receivers being able to, like, you know, basically bring one side of the passband in and expand or contract the pass, I don't think so. I know there's like Q multipliers and things like that you can like notch out carriers. My NC303 has that, but I could be wrong. I'm probably, I'm definitely not as educated as a lot of these folks on older receivers. So, but that would be pretty fantastic if you could do that.
Yeah, I just remember my Yaesu FTDX 3000 couldn't do that, and it's fantastic on the Flex to be able to do that. I mean, it helped for a little bit, to expand the lower side of the carrier and narrow up the upper side to avoid some of the splatter that was coming in. So I was just curious. I didn't know if you could do that on some of the equipment some of the guys in here were using. That might be interesting to find out what just happened.
I couldn't even hear you.
N1BCG using a Q multiplier because my long division and carrying the one wasn't working out.
Attaboy.
Yeah, the problem that I had with the linear switching in and out is I was hot switching it because the RCA connector in the back was a little baffled, and I had issues with this yesterday. And okay, I did the hand job mod to it. I pulled the RCA connector out, and I squeezed it.
You're very loud.
Yep. And it appears to be connected correctly. So, hey, as far as the question about upper and lower sideband suppression and stuff, you can do some of that stuff with the Flex. Not so much with the columns, because the column is, it's 455 center frequency on most. There's 500 on others, but unless you want to shift the crystal, which is kind of wacky, but anyway, yeah, with the Flex, you can kind of change your bandwidth, direction here and there. It's generally symmetrical in AM. If you wanted to put a 0 beat on sideband, you can of course do an upper or lower thing. I mean, they don't have synchronous detectors, which would be absolutely wonderful, but they don't. So that's the long and short story. James said what I'm saying. The FTDX 3000 and a lot of the AC stuff. The big complaint that I have is a lot of the microphones that I sell to that community. It seems the modular connector radios have like higher sensitivity, like not exactly what we would call normal in old days. But anyway, that's some issues that I have. I had to install some 4.7K attenuators, some adapter to these guys to knock down some of the audio. But anyway, good times, man. And the Collins thing, traction thing, forever, and yeah, they're do what they want to do, and so that's what gives me the ability to set a high cut for a different number and angry number. And I don't like doing that, but you know what? When somebody sets up a door and it's like, what do you do?
Well, there you have it, folks. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I didn't know that, any of that, really, or how that all worked. But anyway, good evening, Clark.
Good evening.
And Gordon, are you on the E-Rig?
Yes, I am. Boy. Hold on a second. Yes, I am. Sorry, I had my bandwidth shut down, so when I went down below, I wouldn't interfere with you guys. Yeah, boy. Guy's giving me a freaking headache.
Yeah, and I just got pizza upstairs, so I think I'm going to bail, and I didn't get a headache yet, but anyway, let me say 7-3, fellas, and enjoy the Collins interference, and hope you have a wonderful evening. This is Whiskey 2 November, Yankee.
Yeah, see you, Bob. And I'll look for you later. I'm trying. Hold on, trying to adjust this leveler real quick here. Hello, radio. Yeah, all right, Bob. Catch you later. And the E-Rig sounds great, Gordon. Dave, the Flex sounds great. Everybody sounds great.
Yeah, thanks for the explanation there, Bob, and enjoy the pizza.
Yeah, Bob, Gordon here. Enjoy the pizza. And, I'm using K3FEF and listening on the lower side, as you were mentioning. So, between that and the Synchronous AM, we're good. It's easier than using my Anon right now because I don't have a TR relay system. But he was trying to be very polite with me, and he lowered it, and then he started screaming again. So maybe it's some other issue happening there. I was at dinner, so I just came back. I'm not sure who else is in here. W2GOR.
Yeah, well,
Gordon, unfortunately, is Roger's MO. For well over 10 years, we've done the same thing. Everyone's been patient. They all go over to his frequency and say, could you turn that down just a little bit so we can all coexist? And he would say, yeah, no problem. And 30 seconds later, we're back to the fight. So if I sound, like not tolerant, that's the reason.
No, Clark, I'm sorry. Clark, you need to have compassion. If you don't mind me being honest with you, you need to have compassion and send someone over there to put him out of his misery.
I can't say I don't agree with you, but yeah, it's for as long as I've been on here, it's been that way. The guy's he does this, like Clark explained it perfectly. So, I guess on Wednesday nights, or what is this, the first Wednesday of the month? Just gonna have to suck it up. And he always the worst part is he squeezes in between two ongoing QSOs. That's what makes it even worse.
Well, we don't mind somebody very overweight sitting in the middle seat. If we have to, we just lean to the left or lean to the right. But when someone sits in the middle and they smell, that's the problem.
Yeah, he definitely is stinky.
I'd like to do an impression of him. Would that be okay with you?
Please.
Okay, I have to F up my audio, and I'll be right back.
It's going to take a while to do that.
So while Gordon does that, Gordon mentioned the synchronous AM, and I just flipped that on. I don't use that very often, and Gordon and others are coming in much better now. I thought the synchronous AM was used for when other stations got off frequency. So what else does it do? Why is my signal so much better on receive now using synchronous AM?
Yeah, so what you're listening to is you're listening to carrier.
This is Roger.
Sideband instead of the interference.
Yeah, and also...
You young people have your newfangled transmitters, and okay, we've been here for 173 years. Excuse me. Anyway, so Bobby, over to you. Oh, I'm sorry, Gordon. I didn't realize my audio was so loud. Let me bring it down. Is that okay, Gordon? Is that better? Yes, that's fine. Thank you very much. Okay, Gordon. Thank you very much, Gordon. Goodbye. Okay, so here on the round table. Okay, Pete, over to you. How are you, Pete?
You know, that sounds more like the no kids, no lids, no space cadets guy. Mike OY, who's long deceased. That's almost a spot-on imitation of Mike.
That was pretty hilarious. And real quick, let me make sure I got it.
Well, these
My God.
young people with their my signal's clean. It's very clean. These capacitors were redone in 1936 by my old friend Herb. He's a silent key. Matter of fact, I'm the only one who's not a silent key, for crying out loud, because the good Lord knows that a narrow bandwidth gets you to heaven.
Yeah, Dave. Also about the synchronous detector, you'll notice you won't get any of that selective fade distortion as well. When people start to fade, their signal get all distorted sounding, and that will go away as well. And just cleans things up a bit. I've used synchronous 99.5% of the time, and on the Anon you can listen to just the upper sideband or the lower sideband, and it has no degradation to the audio whatsoever. It's not like pulling in the passband. I don't know how it is on the Flex, but on the Anon, if you drag one side of the passband and it has like this Q notching effect, it's like it messes with the audio a lot. So the receive audio. But just listening to upper or lower on synchronous, it sounds like you're listening to both sidebands at once. It sounds great.
Yeah, thanks. I'm shocked. I hadn't used it in a while because I've had it on before, and when some of the other stations are off frequency, I lose the first couple of seconds of what they're saying as it finds. I thought it was trying to find their carrier.
Right. That's what it's doing. It's like when somebody keys up and they're not on the same frequency that it's already been locked onto. So if everybody's right on the same frequency, it's fine. But I'll turn it off sometimes if, say Timmy's on and he's on a crystal that's up, 500 hertz or so. and it'll cause that. And we're going, or there's a few people that are off frequency. I'll switch it off, but most of the time it's always on.
Yeah, I'm glad Gordon mentioned it because I flipped over. It's much better. And I've never even heard Roger, and the imitation was hilarious, by the way.
I think Roger's up there talking right now, or he was.
I have Roger here in the shack with me, actually. But Roger, will you speak in the microphone?
I don't want that fidelity. Hey, get that away from me. Get it.
It's just a microphone.
No.
All right, never mind, guys.
Roger's mic shy.
Oh, well, that's a very different kind of Roger than the one we're hearing up there.
Hey, Clark, are you doing something different with your audio this evening?
Yes, I've decided to take a page from the Clash's Combat Rock album and apply it to my audio.
I thought something sounds just a little bit different. Doesn't sound bad. It just sounds a little more rear end.
Really? Is that what happens after eating all those devil dogs? I've gotten too much of a bottom.
Too much of a bottom, and you're going to wake up tomorrow morning feeling like a glazed donut.
Oh, that's not good. I'll need a shower.
Devil dogs sound like a great idea. There's a gas station only a mile away that has devil dogs. Nah, I can't do that.
Get ring-dings instead.
My father used to buy them by the box.
Do you see you could get a hot dog at Costco for $1.50, and then they came out with some kind of like beef barbecue sandwich for $10, and people are flipping out?
I'll have to ask the guys at work because they're big Costco guys, and they've been trying to get me to sign up for Costco forever. So I'm sure they're on the in.
First time I ever went to Costco, I got escorted out by their security.
Why?
All right, that's going to need some further explanation, Clark.
Yeah, it was Valentine's Day, and I needed a dozen roses pronto, stat. It was urgent. 5 red flag emergency, needed it. Went into Costco, found a beautiful set of dozen roses there. Went to the checkout and tried to pay in cash. Yep, they damn well hauled me out, one on each arm, and dragged me out of Costco.
That's I've always learned from experiences with Clark, you better believe everything he says, because if you don't, he has some form of a way to prove it to you. I learned that with the Bubble Girl story.
Oh, you mean with the Playboy model in the hot tub with the bubble bath thing? Yeah. Well, this is also true. The end was I was yelling at him. I'm like, are you freaking kidding? You're a business. You're licensed in this country, and you don't accept currency. What's wrong with you? What is your dysfunction? I'm paying with cash, and you're throwing me out of your effing store. What's wrong with you? And finally, the manager came out and offered to get me a day pass. Can you imagine that? I ended up getting a day pass, buying the roses with the day pass, and I've never set foot in there again. Bunch of communists.
You should have told him you were disadvantaged and an unbanked individual. And by the way, the U.S. Treasury is still printing cash.
Well, Dave, I couldn't have thought all of that on a moment's notice.
I don't believe that at all.
Yes, you could have.
Listen, I was clouded over with the urgency of needing flowers on Valentine's Day. I couldn't think. I was a babbling male with only one thing on my mind, and this was throwing in a wrench I wasn't ready for.
I was a babbling male.
And of all other men.
Oh. It's traffic net time.
Oh my goodness! Clowns to the left of me, clowns to the right of me. And here we are between Roger and the traffic net. Damn it.
I don't even hear the traffic net. On February 14th at 8 a.m., 2023, I hopped onto the internet to order flowers and chocolates to be delivered. I was caught in the act and told, don't even bother. I'm like, I don't understand. Why does it matter if I order it the morning of the 14th or 2 days before? I just don't get it.
Oh, now, see, Dave, I could help with that. Your response should have been, this ensures freshness.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't think of that.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, yeah, you know, these guys that order this stuff 2 days in advance, do you think that they're fresh? No, they're processed days earlier. When you order it the morning of Valentine's Day, you know you're getting the best compared to all the other women who get, like, you know, roses that'll die off 2 days sooner.
And where'd you order these from, Dave?
Oh, I was told don't even bother at that point, so I didn't order them. We saved money that way. However, for the next 48 hours, I felt the evil eyes.
Well, where were you going to order them that you could get them same day?
I believe it's called Karen's of Dunkirk. Yeah, you can get them same day. A little bit more expensive, but you'll get them same day. But oh my gosh, I love the freshness comment. She is not here right now, so she can't hear this conversation. I am so going to use that tonight.
No, just use it next February 14.
Yeah, you have one in your pocket for next year.
Oh, I'm sure he has something in his pocket every day.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, we're trying to have like this romance consulting thing on 3873, and we're being trounced over by that moron Roger. This is so not romantic.
Yeah, like, come on, man, really? Anyway.
Oh boy, what's that signal up there? How is my signal? I'm using dipole. Is this thing getting out?
That's somebody throwing a two-tone to QRM.
It is, Gordon.
The ends are only 10 feet off the ground, so it's a little compromised, but I don't want to get out there and raise it. It's a bit difficult with the trees around here. Yeah, that's in a non-two-tone. I still see that. Jeez, now he'll think it's us. So that was a bit of a two-faced performance he gave me, Clark.
No, he gave you the same performance he gives everybody. I was going to warn you of
The clock, which is just barely turned on this old 500.
maybe this time
Seems to get it excited. And then sometimes I get excited.
he'll be different. And then you realize you hold out the olive branch, you hold out the dove, and you get your olive branch snapped and your dove handed back to you with just a bunch of feathers, and you say,
Where is Roger?
Whoa.
He's in Maryland, I think. Right, Clark?
Give me in hell.
Oh, that's my neck of the woods. I'll have to check that out.
All right, for you, those of you who are religious, radio hell, okay? Radio hell, not literal hell.
Yeah, what's the serial number of your KW1, Jim? Over.
Okay, 134.
Pretty bodacious.
Yes, it is. Good evening, guys. I checked in with Roger, but I got the heck up out of there, man. That heterozymes is killing me.
Yeah, what's up, Eric? Yeah, somebody's doing like a two-tone test. Running two-tone on there to QRM them. You know, sucks that somebody's doing that, honestly. I mean, he's being an ass, but, you know, all that's going to do is make him do it even more.
man, who pissed in that guy's cornflakes? W2NDB.
Hey, Mike.
Rodney Dangerfield used to say, we couldn't afford tinsel. We used to wait for Grandpa to sneeze. Good Lord.
Wow, well, then quiet it down a little bit. I think I'm okay.
And good evening to all.
Good.
So what is up with the band? There is a ton of interference on the waterfall. I think that's what you were talking about, Perry. I haven't seen it. It's almost like there's a thunderstorm somewhere.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of static crashes. I'm also getting power line noise. I'm also getting everything right about now. But yeah, and there's a lot of QSB on people's signals, and people are pretty weak. It's been like that the past few days. Last night was horrible. The night before was horrible. It's a little better tonight, but I think the atmosphere, I think the sun's been doing some stuff.
Hey, this is Tony Soprano. I'm gonna go up and talk to Richard there.
Hollowish like that sound, but I can say here, very quiet. The city changed out of last week, and all my noise is gone.
Lucky.
Yeah, my noise isn't gone.
Yeah, one of these days I'll move out into the middle of nowhere and not have any noise, which would be really nice. But we got Tony Soprano in the building, by the way.
I heard that. Clark, did you get a lot of snow? I know my son's up in Rhode Island. I know he got some snow.
Earth to Clark.
He gave up.
Clark has left the building.
Yeah,
I think he ran away from home. Got some snow here. I had to have the snowblower drag me around the property for a couple hours yesterday. It really sucked, but once a winter, ain't gonna kill me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got snow. To answer your question, Dave, because Rob, W1WOR, lives right down the road from him. I saw on Facebook he got a decent amount of snow. So yeah, just missed us down here. Thank God. It was nothing but rain. We got a good amount of sleet for mixing with the rain, but it was about 36 degrees, 37 degrees, so it didn't snow. We haven't gotten anything but a dusting this year, man. Yeah, winter sure isn't like it used to be.
Hey, Eric Gordon here, K2PBT W2GOR. How have you been?
Yeah, been doing good there, Gordon. Since the last time we're talking about earlier.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Boy, this guy Roger's full of enthusiasm. Jeez. But okay, good to hear you. You sound good. And just wanted to say hi. And
Call sign and address. Remind me of a couple of years ago. There was a guy from Ohio who I've not heard for a while that used to check in on with KW1 number 2. He checked in. There are 9 KW1. 1 and 2 got to talk to each other for the first time in their known lives. That's pretty special, isn't it? W3MMR, K5ARX.
You're
Yeah, I think so.
S9 to 10 over here. I still can't hear what you're saying with that guy screaming with his enthusiasm. Jeez. He has a vibrating egg in his butt.
Yeah.
You are 40 plus into Maryland.
I gotta say, I'm on the Mohawk receiver.
So that may be the longest path.
I don't think that's going to be too much longer. I think the guys on the middle are going to take over shortly.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the 40 over there. Oh, man. Yeah. It's just unnecessary because there's a lot of this going on in the band. There's so much room, and people hang on to these frequencies like it's the sideband frequencies like it's real estate or something. But like the guys up on 92, they don't have to be there. I see all these slots to the right. So it's incredibly ignorant and immature. But anyway, good to hear you, and thank you for the gut signal report down there. Where are you, in Maryland?
Yeah, Whiskey 3 Oscar Hotel. This is David. I'm sorry, I can just barely hear the other station you were talking to there, Gordon. Yeah, you're between 20 and 40, and amazingly, your signal is well contained.
Oh yeah, the IMD looks pretty reasonable on this thing. I've been looking at it, and so yeah, thanks. I'm glad to hear that. God, you should see what this guy's signal looks like on the Van adapter. Holy crap! Oh boy, yeah. Anyway, and what are you running down there? It sounds great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have a Van adapter. I'm on the Flex 6400. Shooting the signal to a Meriton AL80B, and my carrier power is about 149 right now. I try and keep it right under 150. Yeah, you, Perry, and Clark come in very strong. Everyone else I'm struggling a bit with the guys up above us at 3880.
Okay, yeah. I have a negative peak limiter on here, which is good, so I think it's pretty clean, but looking forward to getting the scope here and the modulation monitor, and then we'll be all set. So thanks for the great report. Well, good, so this antenna's working. I extended it from an 80 meter to 160, and last time I did that it was terrible, so it seems like it just must have been the positioning of it last time. So this time it's working out much better. And just I'm using this Class C rig that Steve designed and that Wayne WA1 SSH built. He did a great job on it. So I'm going to put it on QRZ, and a little story about that.
Gordon, you're 20 over here in Greene County, W2NDB.
God, you know, it's like what station should not have that transmitter? An enthusiastic screaming person. Who was that again?
Oh, it's Mike Gordon. I was just trying to let you know you're 20 over here in Greene County.
Okay, great. Yeah, you're 15 over here, and I still couldn't hear you. You know what I did? I'm on the Kenwood 890 receiver. And as I narrow the bandwidth, I have the roofing filter follow me down from 16 to 6 to 2.7. So when I bring it to 6, turn off to the side a little bit, and then I lower the actual filter to 3. I got you absolutely no interference. Kenwood did a decent job on this super het receiver.
Those Kenwood receivers are absolutely awesome. I like those.
Yeah, they were trying not to go SDR like everybody else, and they made this mixer called the H mode. H is a hotel mode mixer. And it really worked. And they were trying to, keep it about audio and quality. And some of the specs are up there with the flexes and so on. Not all of them, because, it's still a super het. But, yeah, I wonder what they're going to do, though. That whole culture is starting to leave Kenwood.
They're probably eventually going to have to go SDR like everybody else.
ECAT.
You're 50 over here, Gordon.
Okay, great, yes. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'll try to get the ends up a little higher. There's a kid next door who has been ringing my bell and running away. He's a sweet little kid, but the parents are... we're having some issues, so I got a little worried. I confronted him and said, hey, and his mother came over and made him apologize. But I made friends with him and talked about sports and stuff, and so and we're all good now. No more. I kept leaving the studio to think it was a FedEx delivering, and then there was nobody there. But I just don't want him touching it. So I think 10 feet's still a little low in case kids screw around with it or something. So I'll try to get it up higher.
Connecting an oil burner ignition coil to that doorbell probably would stop that from happening.
You should have seen the mother. The mother overheard me say, "Hey, come here," and he went, "Oh," and then the mother said, "Did you ring his doorbell?" She brought that poor guy to my door and said, "Tell him." And he went, "It was me." I remember those days. And he came a lot, like every day, twice, 3 times a day. So she said, "Did he do it?" She asked me, "Did he do it any more than that?" And his eyes looked at me like, "Please don't rat on me there, Tony." I said, nah, this is just an isolated incident.
You know, that's exactly the story of Roger's childhood, and look what happens. Just think about that. There's a moral in all that. And by the way, Gordon, if that E-rig has a switch on the negative peak limiter, right now you can turn that off.
Well, there's other things I can do. I can turn the negative peak limiter off. Slide a KC up to 74. I sound like William Buckley Jr., yes. And then increase the frequencies on the highs. There we go. Yes. Yes, Clark.
I will be like a Cuban prison guard and look the other way.
It's the Henry LaDouche. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, we're good.
I'm sorry, the SBE rig. That's right, the SBE rig, the Slop Bucket Eliminator.
See, the problem with those terms is then we... Well, let me slide back down. The problem with those terms is that then, you see, it looks like we're organized, like a mafia of interference, and we're not. We're good people. W2GOR for identification.
Gordon, do you have a VFO on that?
Oh, yeah. It has an independent VFO. I don't need to use a flex or an anon.
Is it literally a VFO? I mean, the frequency change was silky smooth. Pardon the intonation there, but I mean, like that was remarkable.
No steps, like
Are you sure you want to use terminology like silky smooth? Clark was someone like this who speaks like this.
Yeah, I'd expect you to be setting up your van next to a playground with kids in it, but no, I was just curious because, and as I think Eric pointed out also, it's like it was a very smooth shift, so I'm pretty amazed by that. Normally the DDSs are click, 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 and you can hear them jump.
This is an actual VFO. Yeah, this is, it has a coarse, medium, and fine. Boy, that's more ammunition for Clark to joke about. The texture is coarse, medium, and fine. No, but yeah, it is a real VFO, so it can go all over the place. Yeah, he did a great job, and it's rock solid, And you know the technology. I'm still learning about it. I don't know if the other guys in here know it, but it has a digital output for the RF amplifier. Anyway, and the spot control allows me to zero beat with you guys. So it puts out about a 10/9 carrier on the receiver. And then there's the antenna output if you want a little more RF. He did a great job.
Right, because earlier you were practically zero beat with Phil, so I thought, oh, it's a DDS VFO, and then so it's like, wow, you know what, Wayne, how about him, huh?
Yeah. So, he's a great guy, too. And I said to him, because he was getting very cranky, I said, you're a New England curmudgeon, that? He went,
Oh, it's about time you figured that out, Gordon.
Hey, I'm gonna use this opportunity to get on out of here. Good to hear you guys. Catch you later. I'm gonna get a snack and get in the horizontal position. So, good hearing you guys. Gordon, Dave, Clark, Bob, Mike, Eric, Jason was in there a long time ago. Good to hear you guys, man. Everyone coming in great, and we'll look for you next time. 7-3, W3MMR.
7-3, Perry. Good hearing you, bud.
73 Perry. I'm out of here as well. Whiskey 3 Oscar Hotel. Clark, I'll let you know how the freshness excuse works. Maybe tomorrow.
If it doesn't work, I've got an extra room in the house for you.
Excellent. You guys have a good evening.
To take care.
So I have to ask, where is all this crappy noise coming from? I see it. It looks like, I'm not sure if it's coming from 80 or 85, but someone is doing something very wrong to their radio.
Gordon, perhaps you'd like to answer that.
Yes, here's some system that was in the later models, KW1s. And that's about it.
Something just crapped out here. I'll be right back. W2GOR.
Someone lost their preemphasis. Well, Mike, to